guys, we are back for another Dokkan battle video. Today we're going to talk about one of the 6 difficult stages coming to the Global Red Zone with part 3 of the Global 7th anniversary. This is going to be the Super 17 fight, Android Super 17. Definitely, I think this is a fight that could surprise people. This is the first of these last 6 Red Zone stages. This is the one I did where I realized, like, oh, whoa, what is this? Because what I did was, I believe it was my very first run. The video's up if you guys wanted to go watch, but on my very first run, I transform into Tech Super Gogeta turn 4, and I go, we won! We got Super Gogeta out. Put him in slot 1, and then Super 17 one-shotted me, right? So, this is where things start to get really tough here. We have this thread over here by Luca Dokkan, going over all of the bosses' stats and stuff like that, what they do. Okay, so Super 17 is a very, I don't really want to call it a short fight. But, there's only 2 phases here. You fight Hellfighter 17 and regular Android 17 right here. Now, these 2 are kind of tough. As you guys can see, their super attack damage is 600k plus. So, if you have a squishy unit early on in these fights, they'll go down. These guys will tear the asses up of any squishy units that you might have. So you have to be very, very cautious when it comes to dealing with these 2 androids right here. The one thing about this fight, though, this is the difference between, say, like this fight or the Janemba fight compared to, like, the Omega fight, right? Is that Super 17 does not have type coverage. The final phase, Super 17, is just STR, right? And, if there was, like, if these guys were, like, double tech or something, like, that would make this fight, like, way... Could you imagine? This fight would be really tough. If these were both tech enemies, and then this guy was STR, that would be really hard. But they're just, like, sort of, like, randomly, like, physical and int right there. So what you want to do is you really want to load up on AGL characters. Running, like, basically mono AGL against Super 17, I think, is a really good idea. Now, the 2 17s can dodge, Super 17 can dodge as well. But the big gimmick with this fight, which is tricky, is that Super 17, he absorbs Ki Blast super attacks. You heal him if you use a Ki Blast super attack. So that will change strategies quite a bit. All global players, you guys know, nothing more stylish. You fuse in a Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, your health is under 50%, the enemy's health is under 50%. You pop that Ultra Big Bang Kamehameha and you won, right? Boom. One shots the boss, GG, throwing my fingers up, we got the W. You can't use the 7th anniversary LR's active skills against Super 17. They are beam supers, and thus Super 17 absorbs it. So he takes out one of the strongest tools that the 7th anniversary LRs possess, which is that active skill, satellite laser that you could drop on these red zone bosses and potentially finish them off. The one time you might want to use their active skill would be the first turn of Super 17. You could, fuse in a Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, because you don't want to take this guy's hits unless you're fused in a Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, by the way. Hell no. Type disadvantage? No. So, you transform into Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, the first turn against Super 17 where he's got full health. You can pop the active skill, because it will still give you guaranteed crits for the turn. But, if Super 17 already has full health, you're not going to heal him. When this fight first dropped on JP, Super 17's HP could overflow, so you could super him, he'd heal, and he'd gain more health. But I believe that was fixed. I don't think that should be active on global, right? So, like, if you do a Ki Blast super attack with this guy at 39 million HP, he doesn't jump up to 45 million HP, right? So you shouldn't have to worry about that. You could use the active skills to get the guaranteed crits, but you want to be very careful because you don't want to use, LR Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta's active skill and heal this guy for 10 million HP, right? Or something like that. You just don't want to do that. So because of that, you have to bring very specific setups. This fight is fun, right? Because a lot of the teams and characters I use in this fight were different than some of the other fights, right? So of course there is just sort of the meme team they get out of the way right away. The Ginyu Force team. Oh my God, what a shock! The Ginyu Force team stomps. Despite the fact that Super 17 is, he is the strongest STR. No, I think is Sin stronger? This guy might actually be the strongest STR boss in the game. Yeah, he is. Wow, okay. Super 17 is the strongest STR boss in the game. Obviously, AoE Broly's a nasty STR boss, but he doesn't do as much damage as Super 17. He just has, he does have the AoE and no dodging, right? But you get, in terms of, like, damage, this Super 17 is the hardest hitting STR boss you're going to fight in the game, right? And even in this fight, I was still able to make do with the LR physical Ginyu Force. The characters are very good. Of course, helped out by the loyalty link, which gives damage reduction. But the Ginyu Force team, every single one of these super powerful stages, Ginyu Force team can just solo, right? Not shocking there. Same thing with the Cell team. These two teams, the Ginyu Force team and the Cell team, I pretty much just ran in with the same setup to nearly every single red zone fight, and it worked, right? And of course, global players, you guys have access to what was on JP post-anniversary units, right? AGL Cell and Ginyu are, post 7th anniversary JP units. But global, you guys have already got them, so you could use them to destroy these stages that those characters were designed to destroy, right? Pretty easily. Nothing really too impactful to talk about here. I guess Super 17 does a weapon super attack. It's where he takes his hand off and does the Gatling gun. So it is a weapon super attack that this guy does. So, like 17 and 18 or LR Gen Ember or something like that. None of those characters are going to be able to nullify his super attack. You do want to keep that in mind, right? So then we get to the Goku and Gohan team. I guess, I do have some very obvious picks in here, right? Like Tech Ultimate Gohan, UI Goku I've used in many fights. Transforming Goku, so already I've, done the Broly, Bojack, Omega ones. I did the Janemba one, have that scheduled already. But transforming Goku is actually a character you could bring to several red zone fights, and he can perform well transforming Goku. You're not going to put him in slot 1, right? You're going to have him in slot 2 and 3. And you do want to be aware that he could take a lot of damage. It's not like he's tanking and just you're completely good, but he can be effective. Especially, so in this fight, right? Remember, Super 17 absorbs Ki Blast Supers. But 17 and Hellfighter 17, they hang around for a while, right? These guys, oftentimes, a lot of times I'm beating these guys on like turn 4 beyond, right? Before we move on to Super 17. Although typically it's, the longer it takes to get the Super 17, usually the better, right? Because you have more time to set some of your characters up, blah, 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 blah. Transforming Goku, as Super Saiyan, he does a Ki Blast Super. Super Saiyan 2, he does a Ki Blast Super. Super Saiyan 3, he does a Ki Blast Super. Once he goes into God and Blue, he does melee supers, unarmed super attacks. So you no longer have to worry about transforming Goku healing Super 17. Then, of course, remember, transforming Goku is stacking the entire way, as he goes forward. So he's going to be able to tank some of these Super 17 hits, reasonably well. He also will have damage reduction too. Honestly, I wish they had bumped transforming Goku. I think Blue Goku should at least have 40% damage reduction and not 25% damage reduction, but that's just me. I think giving him more damage reduction for his EZA would have been a little bit better. But as things have turned out, he, to me, does feel quite a bit better than Transforming Frieza. I don't typically like to run Transforming Frieza. He's just not tanky enough, right? He tends to get obliterated, so I just don't really run him, right? But we have Transforming Goku in here. And I did run Kid Gohan's SSR here. Now, there's some people who would see that and, like, their veins are popping out of, oh my god, his damage is so low, you don't know how to build teams. But remember, Kid Gohan's SSR is still giving support, right? And he still stacks. So he could be effective. And he's also not a Ki Blast super character. You do want to be very mindful about not using Ki Blast super attack characters. Again, Super 17 is very important. And then, of course, the Goku and Gohan unit are ridiculous. Keep in mind that Goku does do a Ki Blast super for the Goku and Gohan unit. So if you're going to use them, remember that Goku is healing Super 17 until you exchange into Gohan. Here's the setup I use with the Resurrection F Blues. They, of course, are probably not coming to Global till October or later, potentially. They are a very powerful unit, though. They're able to get the job done. if we look at the team, I mean, you know, UI Goku, I don't need to talk about. You know, he's good in all the red zone fights outside of Broly and Android 13. Transforming Goku, we talked about. Golden Frieza is a ridiculous tank. You could use it. If he's on the leader skill, you could use him in all these fights. He could be very effective. West Kai, I was actually able to get away with. Because the entire team is Realm of Gods, except for Golden Frieza, who's not there for damage anyway. I was able to make use out of West Kai. She was okay, right? You know, because she's gonna have type advantage. You know, she's got her guard and stuff like that. Like she was okay. I don't think she really contributed much to the run. She gave some extra damage to our more powerful characters. And then of course the LR gods, right? I don't probably need to spend too much time talking about the LR gods and how powerful they are. You don't use their active skill, but all their super attacks are not Ki Blast supers, right? I believe most of them, they're either melee or other. I'd have to look it up, but they're not doing Ki Blast supers, right? So you don't have to worry about them. With the Vegeta and Trunks team, again, there's another team, you know, Vegeta and Trunks probably not coming out on Global till I would say November or December, sometime in that range. They are obviously, they're the best unit in the game, right? They'll disintegrate. Future Gohan and Trunks is definitely a powerful character you could bring into here. My first ever no item run on this fight was actually with the Hybrid Saiyan team. I should pull, I can pull that up. I actually realized I should pull that up because I know a lot of like global players, like, you know, are challenging themselves to, you know, beat these fights, you know, without 200% teams and blah blah blah. And I believe my first no item run on this fight was actually yeah, I remember this night was fun because Gresh was summoning for LF2. No, pause, damn it. No. Okay. Yeah, so this is the team I used the first time I beat him. This is a team that I feel like a lot of players could probably emulate. I guess, you know, Future Gohan and Trunks are certainly not what I would consider free-to-play friendly, but they can be very effective in this fight. LR Future Gohan can work really good against Super 17. I believe LR Future Gohan's 12 key super attack is a key base super, though. So if LR Future Gohan gets an additional super, he will heal Super 17. But defensively, I think LR Super 17 is good enough. Or defensively, Future Gohan and Trunks are good enough to sort of handle it against LR Super 17, right? And there's that Kid Gohan SSR again, who, you know, if you want to use the Kid Gohan SSR, he could be effective in here. Obviously, LR Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta is the strongest physical character in the game currently. I don't like the idea of, like, not transforming with him against once you've reached the Super 17 portion of the fight. But he can be really powerful, LR Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. He is able to tank double digits, especially if you bring, like, LR Super Saiyan 4 Goku, right? Now, LR Super Saiyan 4 Goku's probably about a week away on Global or several days away. So you do want to keep that in mind. But LR Super Saiyan 4 Goku is very good for this fight as well. You know, especially if he's in, like, slot 2 or something like that. He can be very tanky. Remember, he can get his counter off. Defensively, he's very effective after he supers as well. Here is the LR Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta run. Oh, yes. AGL Super Vegito is a great pick for this fight. You know, type advantage. You could have Scouter if his health gets low, and he's able to tank Super 17 fairly well. AGL Super 17, you know, is a character that could definitely be very helpful here. I actually just brought him on the LR Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta team, and it did work out effectively. And then, of course, LR Tech Gogeta. I have so many problems with the design of LR Tech Gogeta. I feel like the unit should have been better defensively to match how good STR Vegito is offensively. But Tech Gogeta, if you transform with him on turn 4, you get the Scouter up, you're in a good spot. Just keep in mind that transform Tech Gogeta, for me, he took like over 500k damage from Super 17. Why don't I play that clip? I think I will. So it was my first ever run against Super 17. It's this one right here. So I think... Okay, so I believe this is my first ever run, and we do die. Yeah, we can see how we entered back in. Okay, so let's take a look here. Let's watch this. So this is my first ever run against Super 17. My commentary right now is something along the lines of, we got it, easy. This is not even tough. It's not even hard. And then, yeah, it's the first turn of Transform Super Gogeta. Dude, I want to see the damage Super 17 does. I'm gonna unmute this. And I want to want to see what my commentary. 100k per normal. I certainly wasn't expecting that. So, and then we just get wiped away. Bye. Yeah, nice. Here, let's listen to what I'm saying here. He'll take 500k damage before he attacks. It's not worth it.
You think so? Okay.
Yeah, because Baby is hitting you really hard when you're at like 300k defense. Like he's still hitting you. So I expect Super 17 to be harder than Baby. So we're gonna do this. Tech Gogeta has to be in slot 1. We're gonna take damage still. Don't think that Gogeta is eating all this, because he's not. Kefla might take damage as well. This actually... Kefla doesn't die here, does she? Nice.
I think you lost.
Alright, well, I guess I was expecting it. Yeah, looking at that, Kefla in slot 1 definitely would have been the play, right? I mean, I guess even LR Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. Was there a bunch of there had to have been a bunch of rainbow orbs on the field, right? Yeah, I could have, well... Yeah, we would have gotten 4 right here. I could have put LR Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta in the first slot. He might have taken a little bit of damage from the first 2 normals, so with the damage reduction, he might have been able to handle it. And then, of course, Kefla, of course, is very good, right? Yeah, so Tech Kefla, by the way, is another character who could be effective in these fights. Because remember, turn 6, she transforms and heals, and she's able to help you out quite a bit. And then finally, on the Gods team, I use Jacko here. Jacko comes out with the ROF Blues. So, you know, Jacko's not going to be on Global for many months, but he's a character who could be effective here. Yeah, Tech Kefla is another character who I used in that run, but I didn't use Kefla in any of these no-item runs, but you could use that Tech Kefla character. They could be very effective. You know, another unit who might actually be kind of a sleeper option here would be LR Kale and Khalifa. I feel like could be helpful. You would be relying upon them getting a lot of supers in early, and then potentially dodging with their passive, more so than just outright tanking, but they're another character that could be helpful in here. So, good luck, global players, against Super 17. Again, you want to be careful of his Ki Blast absorption, because it does heal him. He doesn't block it, he straight up heals from it. So you do want to be very cautious about that. So, let me know what you guys think of the Super 17 fight. Thanks, guys, for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.